hot off the press, new solo works reading, and we have been around since September of 2018. So we're delighted that we are still here, and we have a very exciting lineup for you. So welcome, welcome, welcome. I want to say just a few words about our Los Angeles Women's Theater Festival, because I think we're deserving. We've been around now, this is our 27th year. So for those of you who are saying, what is this Los Angeles Women's Theater Festival? I just got my ticket because I know so-and-so who's gonna be reading. So just a word about us. So this is our 27th year. We have produced well over 500 solo artists from around the globe. And that includes those from Africa, from England, from France, from Russia, India, Australia, Brazil, Canada, and I expect that we're going to have more countries as we move forward. We've also served over 3,000 youth, seniors, and ex-offender women. We've honored over 100 deserving women with our annual theater award. So that's a little bit about us in terms of our history and our accomplishments. And for more, I invite you to visit our website at www.lawtf.org. So moving forward to today, our hot off the press producer today is Michelle Jewsbury, and there will be more on her later because she's going to speak. So we'll wait for her to come back for more. And also our founding co-host today, we have Jessica Lynn Johnson. She is an LAWTF board member, and she's also a screening panelist for the festival. She is founder of Soaring Solo LLC, and she's a published playwright. She has developed, consulted, directed well over 100 solo shows. That is amazing, Jessica. Every time I think about that, 100 solo shows, you're gonna get gray hair soon. And she has numerous awards, too many to name. But if you go to her website, you will learn more about her. She also has 2 solo shows that she has performed, that she's created and performed over the last 15 years. So she's also an artist herself as an actor. And joining her as our co-host is Juliette Jeffers. Juliette was on our LAWTF board of directors. She couldn't stay away, so she's now on the advisory board. She's also on our screening panel. She's an actor, she's a writer, she's a director, she's a producer, she's a teaching artist. Whew. She also has created 5 solo shows of her own, all of which, by the way, have been produced by the Los Angeles Women's Theater Festival, and we've even premiered a couple of her shows, so we're delighted. Thank you, thank you, thank you for honoring us in that way, Juliette. And she gave me a few stats. I'm gonna list them because they're pretty impressive. She's appeared in 18 films, 33 guest starring roles on TV shows, and over 60 commercials. I'm sure you've seen her, but who's counting? So anyway, I give to you now our 2 co-hosts. I give to you Jessica Lynn Johnson and Juliette Jeffers. Give them a warm welcome, please. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Adilah.
You're certainly welcome.
Thank you, Adilah. And a shout out to Michelle, who's on here too, our producer. You'll get to know her better later, but I just
yes.
Shout out. Yes, and just some Zoom basics, guys. I put this in the chat as well, but as I was saying, on your top right, you'll see the icon where you can select gallery view if you kind of want to see how everybody's reacting to all the pieces, or you hit speaker view, and then you can just watch whoever is speaking at that time. I'm going to be spotlighting the video of whoever is performing. So if you hit speaker view, you can trust that the spotlit person will be there. But just wanted to let you know that, and please utilize the chat since we don't have traditional audience feedback with laughter and all of that, since we do want to keep it quiet for the performers and not get a bunch of static and things like that. Please put all your love and praises in the chat and just tell them how much you enjoy their pieces. I think that's a great way to give feedback throughout the night since we can't do it the traditional way. Yeah, so Juliette, welcome too. Do you want to talk at all about the raffles or start us off with?
Yes, of course. So this is a tradition of ours. We at the Los Angeles Women's Theater Festival, we like to give raffles, and a lot of people come to our events and they really look forward to that because we really have some great prizes. And so the raffles are 3 for $5 and 8 for $10. And we're just going to go over the list of prizes that we have. We have a full Zoom show of April Wade Wishes show coming up on Tuesday night, and the value of that is $10.
Yes, and then we have Sharon Nyree Williams iTunes gift card for her new album Shook, and the value of that is also $10.
And my co-host, Jessica Lynn Johnson, is giving away 2 tickets to her Soaring Solo Salon, and the value of that is $20.
Mm-hmm. And then my client and wonderful, talented artist who's performing tonight, Barbara Brownell, she's going to give an angel card reading. Value is $30.
And next we have Michelle Jewsbury, who's our co-producer, and she's going to be offering an e-gift of the 5 steps to overcoming obstacles, plus her ebook, But I Love Him. And the value of that is $49.
Yes, and then Lynn Jassem, another one of our performers this evening, is offering a tap class at $70. Lynn is a phenomenal tap dancer. You would be so lucky to learn from her. She's amazing.
Yes, she is. And Michelle Jewsbury, again, she will be offering a complimentary consultation to overcome obstacles, and that value is $197.
Great. And then Kevin Neighbors, who is performing this evening. He's an amazing artist. He also has a lot of video production talents as well. He's offering to shoot a 2-minute video of whatever you would like, including editing, with a value of $200.
That's great. Thank you, Kevin. And next we have our wonderful Adilah Barnes, who is offering a 1-hour writing or acting session. And the value of that is priceless, but she's putting it at $200.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Yes. And our grand prize is a one-week
That was a drum roll.
Yes, drum roll. Stay at the Writers Retreat with Adilah, value of $1,000. It's in Georgia. It's amazing. I've gone myself and got a lot of writing done in my book, so I couldn't celebrate it more. It's absolutely incredible. So I want to unmute Michelle to kind of help us talk about the raffle, how we're doing it this evening, because it is a little untraditional. Normally we have our tickets and we have our bucket and all of that. We're not doing it that way tonight. So Michelle, you want to speak to how we're holding the raffle?
Yeah, definitely. Thank you. I'm looking forward to this event. This is going to be so awesome. Looking forward to the 5 performers that are going to be performing. So the raffle is not traditional, just like Jessica said. So what we're doing is we're going to be using an app called Venmo. I'm sure a lot of people on this thread have Venmo, and if you don't, you can sign up. It's free. But if you go on Venmo and you give to LA Women's Theater Festival, I'm actually tracking those purchases in real time, so I can see who purchases. So then say if you go on and you spend $5 for 3, then I'll write out 3 of your names, rip it up and put it in a bowl, and at the end I will just pull. So that's how that's working. So I will put that link if you want to do it online. It's venmo.com/LAW Women's TF. So I'm like, LA Women's Theater Festival. How does that go? And then you could also just use your phone. So if you use your phone, go to the Venmo app and then go ahead and purchase.
Beautiful. Thank you, Michelle.
And if you have questions, go ahead and put it in the chat, you guys.
Yeah, guys, please utilize the chat a lot this evening. Any questions you have, just put them in the chat, and we'll do our best to sift through those as the evening goes on. Thank you so much.
And we will remind you of the prizes as we go further on in the program, because you'll have the whole program to purchase your raffle tickets. And so I just wanted to let you guys know that we have the city of West Hollywood. They give us a grant every year. We're so grateful to them. And so this year, what we're going to do is we're going to have a program on our YouTube channel. And I wanted to see if Adilah could speak a little bit more to that, because it's really exciting. Adilah?
Yes. And before we do that, I want to acknowledge our official sponsors that we've had this year because they're deserving. And the Department of Cultural Affairs, I especially want to acknowledge them because they are one of our grantors for this particular event. We also have the city of, we also have, not the city, well, City of West Hollywood, and we have City National Bank. We have Union Bank, and we have KPFK. We also have Adilah Barnes Productions. We have Women in Media. So I want to really give a shout out to all those who are part of us and support us in the many ways that they do. So with the City of West Hollywood, that'll be the first time that we will be using our channel. So we have someone, his name is Theodore Terry, and he is setting up our channel. So that's like a YouTube or other channels, but it'll be ours. And so we will be able to use it for whatever we like. So we're going to christen it by presenting our City of West Hollywood program. And what that means is we're going to have artists that are going to give us their videos. We're going to present them. They will have pre-recorded videos, so they're not live. So they will be slick, they will be professional, they'll look great because they've been pre-recorded. And so that's probably going to be in the month of October. We're now lining up our artists, and it's very exciting, those who have already committed. So more to come. Make sure we have your information.
Thank you, Adilah.
Thank you, Adilah. And next, I'm just going to speak a little bit to our 7th annual Empowerment Day, although this time I think we're in discussion about it, but we might do an intensive over a weekend. So we're in discussion about how we can bring you the best possible virtual program that we can, just jam-packed with workshops and panels to teach you more about solo theater and the art of creating a one-person show and all of that. So that's coming up probably in August, right, Adilah?
That's probably going to be, yes, in August, probably the first, second, or fourth week. We're working that out now.
Yes, so make sure you're on our email chain. If you go to lawtf.org, and I'll put that in the chat, you can make sure you're on our email list so you get the updates with that. And I'll also be emailing you from Soaring Solo as well, but just to make sure you get the updates on that amazing day or weekend, whatever we end up doing. And Juliette, if you want to speak, or did we already kind of talk about we already really talked about the channel, so I think we're good with that.
Exactly. And it's like, I just wanted to add to that and just say that what we're doing, which is what a lot of people are doing, we're just going with the times, right? I mean, because we can't be in person anymore, at least for this period. And so we're just being creative about with how we are still able to express and do everything that LA Women's Theater Festival does. We're just doing it in different ways. And so what we're doing right now is an example of that, and the YouTube channel. So we're just excited about the opportunity to be creative and do things in a different way.
Yeah.
And to really use technology in ways that perhaps we hadn't thought we'd be using this soon. So it's extremely exciting.
Exactly.
And then last, I want to say we are looking for volunteers, virtual volunteers, to support us in our office, things that we're doing, our upcoming events. You can email lawtfspotlight@yahoo.com. I will also put that in the chat. Or again, if you go to our website, lawtf.org, you're going to have all the information there to contact us and let us know your interest in volunteering, or you can contact Juliette, myself, Adilah, and we will happily put you in touch with the person that can tell you where your talents can be most utilized. And then Adilah, you were saying we're also interviewing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That?
We have a grantor that a government grantor. We can't really announce their name yet because they're not posted on their site yet. But we're going to be interviewing students who are in college And in the old days, we would have student interns. They'd be for 10 weeks, 400 hours. But now, because things have changed, we're actually going to be able to have these interns through March. And we can have them for as few as 15 hours. So if there's anybody out there that's in college and you're interested in this, we're probably going to start interviewing at the middle of July. Probably we'll have that intern begin somewhere around the middle of August or the end of August. So stay tuned for more, because once we're able to make it officially public, we will do so with the description of the position and who the funder is.
Great. Thank you so much, Adilah. Okay,
Mhm.
without further ado, we are going to jump into our program, starting with Lynn Jassem. So let me go ahead and unmute you, Lynn. I just need to find you on my list. And where did you go? Lynn. There you are. Lynn, I am unmuting you. And so just to give you guys a little bit of background about Lynn, she's a native New Yorker. She was on the Perry Como TV show. And as I have said, just an amazing tap dancer, but she's also an amazing mime, which I've got to see firsthand in both of her solo shows. Tap dancing My Way to the Nut House and From Homo to Como. She's a very, very talented solo artist, worked with Claude Kipnis Mime Theater, playing at the White House, Boston Pops, Kennedy, and the Lincoln Center. So she's just an exquisite dancer, but she's also an amazing solo artist who plays a multitude of characters. And this evening, she's actually showing a third solo show excerpt. So I really hope this continues to grow, because it's an amazing concept. And it's called Is There a Doctor in the House? A lesbian in Oakland meets a true love at last in a romantic odyssey that will take her across the country and overseas. So please enjoy Lynn Jassem.
Yay.
Yes. Something weird happening. Howdy. I am Lynn, but you can call me Billy. You see, I'm what they see as a tomboy. They named me that at the dance, Billy. Are we on? Yes, okay, just checking. It was there at the dance that I saw her for the first time at the Friday night country western lesbian dance in Oakland. Lots of lesbians around, sexually spraying each other. But mostly there was lots of hair. There was leg hair, underarm hair, facial hair, but not a lot of head hair. At the door was Zoe. Zoe was a very beautiful UK transplant and the dance leader. She offered some breath mints to go with your free bottle of water. And there was a sign that read, no scents, no perfumes, no hair gel. Anyone who shaves from the neck down will be immediately evicted. You see, for 3 years I've been going to this dance. I just wanted a place to fit in. I was a New York Jewish lesbian fish out of water. I needed to find community, maybe even a date. I was very lonely, gefilte. Every Friday, totally exhausted after a long day at work, I would say to myself, do I have to? Yes, I have to. Please, if there is a God, let it happen tonight. It's been 3 years of nothing. I would make the 2-hour drive over the Bay Bridge, walk into the dance, towel myself down, freeing myself of any scent that was not naturally produced by my very own glands. And then I would put my package. Where's my package? My package. Make sure it was perfectly angled. And woohoo! Ride 'em, cowboy! And then I would set myself over to the dance, and I would try to amaze them with my new repertoire of jokes. But no one laughed. They just explained the punchline to me. There was something for almost everyone. Lots of smells, lots of rumpled clothes, and lots of big girls who managed to stuff themselves into a pretty little pair of cowgirl boots. Help! I will be single for the rest of my life. Suddenly, I see this tall, bow-legged cowgirl coming at me. Hey, come on over here, kid. Sit yourself down there. Sit your sorry ass down. A word of advice. Keep telling them jokes, and you're never gonna get laid. Huh? Never? Ever? Oh, but then this one night I was paying my sliding scale, and there she was in a black velvet dress. She had long, beautiful legs and these cute little pumps. Peaches and cream complexion, turned up nose, and she was ponying all around the dance floor. Oh, be still my heart. My eyeballs just about fell out. Could it be? She's there, I say, cute. I think maybe she made a wrong turn on her way to the Fairmont Hotel and landed here by accident. I rush over to Zoe. Zoe! I begged for information. Zoe, who? Oh, Zoe said, she is my good friend from the UK. She is single, brilliant, young, and a doctor. And she knows how to dress. Hey, what else could a guy like me want? I swaggered over to her, and I said, howdy. I hear you're a doctor. Well, doctor, I got a big pain right there. She started to laugh. And then I started. I made a really good joke. You liked it, huh? Then that little red lipstick piss began to chirp and talk and tell me everything there was to know about everything. Oh, the UK is the best place ever. I'm here meeting my chums. Chums? Did she say chums? I've known Zoe forever. We like to call her Lady Zoe, and on, and all the while I just stared back at her. Oh, and I do so adore skiing in Tahoe. She had perfect smooth skin, her black, beautiful eyes. Her hair was so dark and soft, and my chums will undoubtedly carry my skis. Oh, help me, God. And we always go off-piste. Oh, kill me now. This is the girl of my dreams. She flashed a smile at me with those beautiful, crooked teeth, and I had to have her. So I delved deeply into my joke repertoire, and I decided to tell her how they have proven that Coco the gorilla understands sign language. You see, the trainer says, Coco, what is this? Very good, Coco. Coco, what is this? Oh, Coco, you're so smart. And then, Coco, what is this? Coco. I saw the gleam in her eye, and she started to giggle and laugh, and I knew she liked boys like me. She liked silly. She liked jokes. Oh, that was jolly good. You know, perhaps we could have further social intercourse. Really? Your place or mine?
Thank you, Lynn. So funny and so you. Awesome. Really great, Lynn. Everybody, please put your praises in the chat for Lynn and let her know how much you enjoyed that piece. And just keep doing that throughout the evening for our performers. We would love that. And don't forget about the raffle. You can be buying raffle tickets all throughout the night. And Michelle, if you can keep guiding people through that in the chat, that would be great. Next up, our second performer is Kevin Neighbors. I'm so excited to be working with Kevin. He's such a skilled performer. He is a theater and film-based artist here, and he's based here in LA. He received his BFA in theater and film performance, but also has a minor in digital media production. He's an acting coach here in LA, and he partnered with C Talent Management Company, and he's a managing partner and diversity consultant with them. So very impressive. But I think what's so meaningful about Kevin, he was raised in the foster care system since the age of 2, and he uses his platform as a mixed Black gay man, also who has ADHD, to empower voices and artistry of young artists and youth who experience poverty. And poverty, as he defines it, is those who don't have a choice, those who don't have choices before them. And the piece he's going to be sharing this evening is called Versatile. It is written and performed by Kevin himself. And it's a modern journey through identity and intersectionality. Kevin, as a biracial and gay person, wades through the trauma of police brutality. Through poetry, he explores the fate of African-American men when stopped by law enforcement and how it challenges him to his own sexual identity. So Kevin, let me unmute you and give you the floor. Just gotta find you in my long list of names because we have so many people tuned in, which is awesome. So Kevin, you are unmuted.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Our tongues, ripped out from our teeth and discarded like plastic, thrown into landfills and body bags, silenced, we speak. We are not disposable. We are human. We are Black. Our voices, our power. Our bodies built a nation. Our bodies are discarded like plastic, littering the streets. We are not plastic. We are permanent. We can't cry anymore. Our reservoirs dried up, empty to the bone. We ache with every shot, with every foot meeting earth in sprints for our lives, with every face pressed to scolding concrete. We are hard, hardened, and weak. Broken voices breaking in our pleas for justice, we cry alone. Together, we cry. Together, we stand, shouting at walls where men dressed in black, wielding weapons of death, they stare us down. We are outside mausoleums, where ancestors' memories have been buried to conceal the truth of builders and architects whose sweat and bloodied fingers founded a nation. We see you, peeking and peering your head between the cracks of your concrete lies. But you're fractured, and what you don't know is we know. Our voices carry our history. You can edit a textbook, but you can't steal our voices. Our history is now, and voices, our voices, have never been silent. Whoop, whoop. Shit. Evening, officer. I'm parked to just text my friend Aaron. Yes. Yes, it's in my backpack. Can I get it? Thank you. Hands on the wheel! I'm sorry, sir. Yes, sir. Just getting my ID from my backpack. I understand. Yes, slowly. My name's Kevin Neighbors. My birthday is January 20th, 1993. I live at 10055 Park Meadows Drive. This is my dad's car. His name is John Calvin Neighbors. That's my dad. And I'm on the insurance too. Okay. Thank you. The police officer walks away. He returns. Oh, no, this is my dad's car. I didn't steal the vehicle. Okay, I understand, but my name's Kevin Neighbors. John Neighbors is my dad. My phone? Okay, yeah, here. That's right. No, I'm not getting into any trouble tonight. Yes, he's my friend, and I was dropping off my friend Becca. She lives up the street. Yes, I think you believe me, but you have my phone and no, that's fine, thank you. Yes, Aaron, I'm texting Aaron. He's going through a lot right now and he's thinking, yeah, you can see it all there. No, I already told you I didn't. This is my dad's card. No, I'm not talking back. I'm just saying you have my phone and Becca lives up the street. John Neighbors is my dad. This is my dad's car. Yes, sir, I'm calm. Yes, sir. I'm sorry, sir. Police lights fade. Look at me. I don't look black, but I grew up in an affluent white neighborhood. I was black. It matters to me and it made a difference to others. So in a community like that, a little bit of blackness goes a long way. When he read our texts, I'll never forget how he looked at me. Just disgust. And I was ashamed too. I was texting my boyfriend, Aaron, and he was in the closet and depressed. And back then, we all just watched gay youth end it every day. The list went on and on and on. So I stopped to talk to him because I needed him. I repeated myself again and again, and they just kept asking me the same questions like I'm a liar. And when I reached for my ID, I wasn't careful enough, and he yelled at me. He reached for his gun, and I just froze. Time stopped, but it took 45 minutes and 4 officers. I called Aaron my friend. He wasn't just my friend. Thank you.
Thank you, Kevin. Thank you so much. Wow, and I love how you were just really able to shift the mood from the comedy we were enjoying with Lynn and then get us deeply thinking and moved with your piece. Thank you so much. And everyone, please give your praises and your thoughts in the chat to Kevin. Next up, we have a special guest, Charlene Modeste, and she's going to be singing her song So Much. And I just want to say that she wasn't even originally on the program, but she attended my Saturday morning class and shared this song, and we were all, literally everybody on the call was moved to tears. It's just such a powerful piece, so I'm excited for her to share it with you today. A little bit about Charlene. She's an actress, singer, songwriter, She has a deep desire to make the world a better place. She unabashedly utilizes her talents to educate audiences about the healing properties of cannabis while advocating for social justice and those who are adversely affected by the war on drugs. Tonight, she is delighted to lift her voice in the song so much. So Charlene, let me unmute you. And the floor is yours.
Thank you. Whew. Ah. Home of the brave, land of the free. Everybody knows you ain't talking about me, son. Ignore my cries for equality, then tell me to go the hell back to where I came from. And ooh, there's so much pain to get over, trying to live while looking over my shoulder, always wondering if I'll be the next one who starts to trend with their name on a hashtag, or gets mysteriously hung by a trash bag, or has life's last breath shed virally for snuff, pouring fun. A teenage boy gets his blood splattered. You let me know our lives don't matter none. Your justice ain't blind, and neither are we. The veil of your duality is undone. And ooh, there's so much pain to get over, trying to live while looking over my shoulder, always wondering if I'll be the next one who starts to trend with their name on a hashtag, or gets mysteriously hung by a trash bag, or has life's last breath shed virally for snuff, pouring fun. Gunned down in our churches while we kneel and pray. Tell me, where's the someday when we finally overcome? Talking heads spinning lies while they deny. They're demonizing the victims of American terrorism. And so much pain to get over, trying to live while looking over my shoulder, always wondering if I'll be the next one who starts to trend with their name on a hashtag, or gets mysteriously hung by a trash bag, or has life's last breath shed virally for snuff, pouring fun. Home of the brave, land of the free. Everybody knows you ain't talking about me.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Charlene. Absolutely beautiful. Let me unmute my co-host, Juliette.
Thank you so much, Jessica. Charlene, oh my goodness. That was so beautiful, so powerful, so impactful, so necessary. I keep saying this, and I'm going to keep saying it, that we as artists, our job is to heal and to inspire. And that song was very, very healing. So thank you for that. So next, we're going to shift into Michelle Jewsbury. She is our co-producer today, and I'm going to just share a little bit about her. She is an international philanthropist, speaker, author, and coach who has traveled the world as an advocate for the less fortunate. In August of 2016, Michelle focused her efforts on ending domestic violence. Her desire to help victims of domestic abuse came from personal experience in such a relationship. She wrote and performed her solo play, But I Love Him, directed by Jessica Lynn Johnson, to a nearly sold-out audience in the Whitefire Solo Fest. In July of 2017, Michelle founded Unsilenced Voices, a 501c3 nonprofit focused on inspiring change in communities around the globe by encouraging victims to break free and survivors to speak up about domestic violence and sexual assault. She has since completed and published her personal memoir with the same title as her one-woman show. She's recognized as a valuable resource in the speaking industry. Michelle Jewsbury is the go-to professional. She's also on the go. She's the go-to professional speaker who uses her story of survival as encouragement and motivation for others. By using reflective techniques, Michelle creates aha moments that lead to transformation. And so she's going to share with us today how to use your solo show as a tool. Michelle?
Thank you so much, Juliette. And I am so grateful to be on this, to be involved with the LA Women's Theater Festival, to be involved with theater. It's so important to be able to share your voice. And that's what I want to do, is I want to talk a little bit about how important that is to speak up. We have seen some incredible performances so far. Charlene, I was like, I can't cry, I'm speaking next. Oh my gosh, right? So impactful. And what Kevin, what you've experienced and being able to share your message on the stage, and Lynn as well, and being able to be creative and bring an audience in to laugh. It's so important to be creative. So I want to give you a little backstory. I'm not going to take up too much time. But I'm going to kind of fast forward so you know my story, and then so you can see where you can go. So in 2012, I end up meeting this blonde-haired, blue-eyed, handsome dude who swept me off my feet. And I thought that he was my Prince Charming. He courted me, he sent me texts, he sent me flowers, gifts, took me to Dodgers games and Lakers games. It was great. It was like this fairy tale romance that I so badly wanted growing up. Well, about 4 months into the relationship, my head went through the wall. And at that point, I didn't understand nor realize what I was going through, or that it was the beginning of a domestic violence relationship. So it progressed to a lot of abuse, lots of physical abuse. I was black and blue multiple times, beat for hours, sexual abuse. And 4 years later, I finally escape. And it was this weird moment where I literally sat in front of my computer and I knew I just needed to write. So I started to document what had happened to me. And then I started to realize and understand, wow, this was way worse than what I thought I was going through at the time. So I knew I had to do something. And I was kind of leery about wanting to write a solo show. I remember going to Jessica's class when I first walked in, and I literally was like, hands over my chest, my feet up, and I think I had a torn ACL at the time too. So I was like, I don't know what I'm doing with this, but it came out of me. And the writing that I had written, Jessica helped me craft that into Oh, Heather's on. Hi, Heather. Jessica helped me craft that into a one-woman show. And that one-woman show, I mean, it's hard. This is my original script from that one-woman show with notes and directions and notes from Jessica and myself. But being able to perform on stage, being able to speak your story, being able to get that out on paper is so incredibly important. And a lot of the pieces that we're hearing today are based on our current times and our current situation. So make sure that you speak up, that if this is what you want to do, just sit down and write, just get it out of you, because there's people around you, especially with the LA Women's Theater Festival, that will mold you and help you and connect you to the people that you need to be with. So from there, I ended up performing it at the Whitefire Solo Fest, and then again at the Hollywood Fringe. You guys probably recognize the Hollywood Fringe logo, right? And it was amazing. I remember my last performance at the Hollywood Fringe Festival. I cried. I cried so hard. And it was great. Jessica was in the back with me, hugging me. It was an incredible moment. Well, that was 4 years ago. And since then, because I decided to share my voice, I was able to start Unsilenced Voices, which is a nonprofit organization, and we work in Ghana and Sierra Leone, Africa. We're also fiscal sponsors for organizations in Nepal and the Netherlands, and we're doing events in the United States as well. And because I spoke up, I now can help people all over the world, and we have a team of people all over. I've been able to travel to Africa 3 or 4 different times and really see the gender inequality that happens worldwide. Well, from there, I knew that I had to continue speaking up, and so I published my first book, But I Love Him, which is the same title as my play. My book is accurate, and my play is, theatrical, so it's about 70% accurate, but the book is 100% accurate. And then now I get to speak on stages all around the world. I'm being asked to come to domestic violence events. I'm being asked to speak at colleges, and all of that stemmed from me speaking up and sharing my story through a solo play. So the reason why I am saying all this is because we all have experienced something in life, something that has a message that is meant to be heard by others, and meant for you to overcome. And during this long 4-year process of me, being able to speak on stages and write a play, and I have been impacted so much by the people who I help, and it is so incredibly important to give back. And I'm nothing special, and everybody on this call can speak their voice, can start a movement, can make a difference. So I just want to leave you with that the power of storytelling is real, and it not only heals yourself, but it heals all of those around you. So I just wanted to share a little bit about that. Thank you guys so much. I love LA Women's Theater Festival. Jessica, I adore you. You know that. We were living together for like 3 years, but it's incredible. So continue to put pen to paper, and thank you again. And if you want to reach me, just go ahead and type it in the chat. So thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Michelle. You're such an amazing example of what we can do far beyond just even writing our shows, how we can make it our life's work and share it with others. And write a book. That's so amazing. I always encourage my clients now, I'm like, turn it into a book next, and make a nonprofit. It's so amazing. Juliette and I would love to remind you guys about the raffle again. So yes. And Michelle, you can help us through this too, because I think some people had questions if they could send PayPal. I'm not sure on that.
They probably could. The problem is I don't have access to the PayPal, so I don't have access to the Venmo. And we've had over 100 tickets bought already, you guys, which
Wow.
is a lot of writing on these little papers.
That's great.
wanted to really quickly go through the list again, Juliette?
Yeah, sure. So yes, especially for those of you who tuned in a little bit late. So we have April Wade Wish is donating a ticket to her Zoom show, which is going to be Tuesday night, and the value of that is $10.
Sharon Nyree Williams is giving her iTunes gift card for her new album Shook, also $10 value.
And Jessica Lynn Johnson is giving 2 tickets to her Soaring Solo Salon, valued at $20.
Yes, Barbara Brownell is giving an angel card reading, value of $30.
Michelle Jewsbury, who you just heard, she's going to offer an e-gift of the 5 steps to overcoming obstacles, plus her ebook, But I Love Him, and the value of that is $49.
And Lynn Jassem, who you saw open the show, she's offering a tap class with her, value of $70.
And Michelle is also offering a complimentary consultation to overcome obstacles, and that is valued at $197.
And Kevin Neighbors, who you also saw perform this evening, he is offering a shoot of a 2-minute video and whatever you would like, including editing, for $200 value.
And I just want to say real quick, thank you. It's so beautiful that our performers are donating even more, right? They're donating their services to the LA Women's Theater Festival. That's just wonderful. Thank you for that. Adilah is offering a 1-hour writing and acting session, and the value is $200.
And the grand prize is a 1-week stay at the Writers Retreat in Georgia, value of $1,000. I've been there myself. It's absolutely amazing. So Michelle can continue to tell you in the chat, but we are how to do it, but we are accepting your payments via Venmo, looks like. So yes, awesome. Thank you so much. And let's see who is next. All right, and then Adilah, you're going to be introducing our next performer, so let me unmute you.
Oh, I am?
You are introducing April, yes.
Oh, you know what? I didn't really notice that on the lineup, but I certainly will do it. So this is going to be very, very improvisational and impromptu. In my book, I talk about always being ready as performers. So now I'm being tested. So anywho, April Wish is one of our 2020 performers for the Los Angeles Women's Theater Festival. And she has quite a body of work, all the way from theater to film to television. And she now is a mother and has really found her voice speaking for those who are mothers. And when we interviewed her this week, she said, well, you know, I don't know how many people I'm going to reach by telling my story about being a mother. And I shared with her that I feel she's reaching lots of people, because it's not just mothers who are learning from her experience of being a mother, but fathers are learning about mothers being mothers to their children, and even those without children, what it's like to be a parent. So I think the work is universal. I've seen it, and we welcome you, April. Thank you.
Thank you. Should I jump in? Okay. I'm in the ER. I'm newly pregnant, but it's my 2nd time around, so I'm already showing. I have a little girl already, and they sent her to eat ice cream with her Mimi because I was worried about some spotting. It was normal. It's okay. But the ER nurse suddenly turned to us to say, "Do you want to know the sex of the baby?" Well, nurse, isn't it kind of early for that? Well, sometimes it can be pretty obvious. Well, that kind of gave it away, I guess. So, sure, it's gonna be a surprise when we hear it. So, what is it? It's a boy. Definitely a boy. Fuck me. I tried to be so happy about it, but my dream of 2 little girls and matching butterfly wings and gabbing on the porch of some long place, long gone, and crocheting is somewhere dashed in one fell swoop, and the ghosts of history that weren't part of my story suddenly were, and they were in my belly. And I was terrified. But I just smiled and said, oh, great, one of each. So here I am, mom to a boy, a white male human. I understand women to the extent that I am one, but boys, I turn to the experts. Online mom groups. Turns out I am in way too many online mom groups. I mean, they don't generally bring me any real joy or information. It's kind of just like a place to fester awful thoughts. No judgment of others, judgment of myself, terrifying rashes, at least one article a week on how drowning doesn't look like drowning. Lots of hashtags, you know. Hashtag stay at home mom. Hashtag fed is best. Hashtag pick for attention. Hashtag slightly freaking out. Hashtag boy mom. Boy mom? Oh, I hate that shit. See, I tell my daughter all the time how smart she is. And I tell my son how sweet he is because that is what I want him to hear from me about himself. See, oh, I love your little pats, Tucker. I love your kisses. You're a good boy. You are a sweet boy. He is. He is. He's very sweet. He's also disruptive, but so is my daughter. He's sweet, truly. He's maybe just a little wild, but so is my daughter. I mean, he's sweet. He's. It's just, see, Tucker leads with his head. To be fair, it is a giant head. I mean, it's absurdly huge. It's an adorable head. It houses these two giant eyes and what I'm guessing is maybe a giant brain. But when you are standing 2 feet away from that giant head as it launches itself off the dining room chair to hit itself on the hardwood floor, or you're about ready to put swim floaties on that giant head only to see it bob below the surface of the water, or you see that giant head run itself right into a wall, it doesn't feel like such a adorable feature of being a hashtag boy mom. You see, I didn't want to believe my friend Molly when she said, think what you want about guns. He's gonna find them. He's a boy. He's gonna make a gun out of anything you get him. And I didn't want to believe my friend Ashley when she said, you have a boy now. The ER is inevitable. Or my mom, my incredibly progressive feminist mom who told me, boys are different. My daughter, she is wild and loud and rough and she runs into things and she plays in the mud, but my son, he makes guns out of Legos because we don't have any guns in the house. And when we don't have Legos, he uses his hands. Shoot, 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 shoot. And he runs his head into the hard part of the couch, the part that he knows is there. It's like some sort of accident on purpose. Okay. Maybe it's because his head is so big that he has no idea that his body isn't. I mean, he will throw himself face first into a dog pile, only to see himself get thrown out like a rag doll and pop up and say, "Are you okay?" He puts an electric car on his giant head and he pulls out a quarter-sized chunk of hair and he doesn't even cry. And when I discover it wrapped up in the car's wheels and I look at him, he just says, "Okay." He plays with dolls. He lets his sister paint his nails. But the other day he said, "Mommy, I don't like that song. It's a girl song." Tucker, There's no such thing as a girl song. There is a girl song. Okay, but Tucker, I like a lot of songs that boys sing, and your daddy, he likes plenty of songs that girls sing. So who told you something was a girl song? I don't like it. It's a girl song. I don't like it. I don't like it. Who told you it was a girl song? Who told you? Who told him? How does he know? I mean, he's only 3. My good feminist liberal upbringing taught me that there is not a difference between the genders. So why does he know? And why does he play with swords with every stick that he finds? And why did he trip his friend Liam on the way to the big backyard for preschool for no reason? Why did he bite his sister? And why does he pinch me when I'm not listening? He's a sweet boy. There's just some level of violence in him. Where does it come from? I mean, the men in our lives are gentle and kind. Even then, there's hardly a year that passes that my husband doesn't remind me at some point in time, I used to love blowing things up. And his dad, my father-in-law, he's known for screaming on the phone. My brother customarily does what we like to call a storm out. We're not even going to talk about this anymore. My dad, he doesn't blow things up. He bottles them. But it's there, isn't it? Hashtag boy wife. Hashtag boy daughter. Hashtag boy mom. I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to raise him to be good and kind and gentle in a world, in a country that isn't always good or kind and is hardly ever gentle.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, April. Absolutely exquisite as normal. April's a fantastic performer. Thank you. And everyone, please give her your praises and your thoughts in the chat. We appreciate that greatly. Okay, next up we have Barbara Brownell. Let me unmute you, Barbara. And Barbara is, she was actually in a Broadway play, Play It Again, Sam, with Woody Allen and Diane Keaton. She's been in films. Some of them are Going Home, Someone to Watch Over Me, Behind the Candelabra, and The Master. She's also made a bunch of TV appearances, Malcolm in the Middle, LA Law, Mary Tyler Moore, Night Court, Mad Men. I saw that episode. I was like, that's Barbara. Grey's Anatomy. Let's see, she won Broadway World Award for Best Leading Actress LA in 2018. And she said what makes her a star with her grandkids is being featured in the music video Old Town Road. Yes, I love that song. That's a great song. And tonight, Barbara is going to be sharing Unexpected Blessings. It is about being a Caucasian woman in her 60s who's exploring the journey of discovering who her real father is and how this journey has influenced her own identity. Barbara, you have the floor.
Okay. Well, yeah, you got my name. My name is Barbara Brownell. Well, I like my name. It's strong, Barbara Brownell, and yet friendly, Barbara Brownell. It's theatrical, Barbara Brownell. Yes. Oh, yeah, I like my name so much that I kept it as my stage name and as my married name through 2 marriages. But can you imagine my surprise when I was at the funeral of my father, Arnie Brownell, in Eau Claire, Wisconsin in 2010, and my cousin, Ken Brownell, came up to me, salt of the earth farmer. Oh, Barb, oh, that was really nice of your dad to adopt you. What are you talking about? I'm not adopted. Who told you that? Oh, golly. I guess I let that cat out of the bag. I thought everybody knew. Your Grandma Cora told me when I was just a little tyke. And then I remembered something that I had pushed down in my brain for over 60 years. When my Grandma Cora, my dad's mom, when I was 4 years old, cornered me in the kitchen. Barbara, you are not a Brownell. No, you do not carry my genes. Your mom is a cheater and a liar. She tricked my son into marrying her because she was pregnant with you. Mommy. Grandma Cora says that I'm not a Brownell, that Daddy's not my daddy. Oh, Barbara, don't you believe a word she says? You know that she hates me, and you know that she makes up stories. She's just trying to make trouble. So don't you worry your little head about that. Well, I did know that my Grandma Cora and my mother, they hated each other. And I also knew that my Grandma Cora liked to make trouble. And my Grandma Cora was really good at making up stories. But my brother, Vernon, his wife, Avelina, murdered him. She poisoned him because she wanted her freedom and she wanted his money. I know, because at the funeral, he sat up in his coffin and he pointed at her and he said, "She did it!" So, you could see why I believed my mother all these 60 years, and I thought that my grandma was just trying to make trouble, and she just made up this story. But now I was beginning to doubt it. I thought, I better investigate this. So the only living sibling of my father was his sister, Adilah Brownell Ludwikowski. During World War II, she was a WAC, Woman's Army Corps. She was no nonsense, and she told it straight. Yeah. Oh, Barbara. Yeah, I wondered if you were my brother's baby. You see, your mother was popular, Yeah, all the boys liked her. Yeah. She was known as a round-heeled woman. Get it? Round heels, fell over easily on her back. Yeah. Yeah. We went to high school together. Yeah, and at lunchtime, a married taxi cab driver picked her up for a rendezvous, if you get what I mean. Yeah, I got what she meant. Oh, I better do that DNA test. So the first person I went to is my sister, Sandra Brownell. She never married. She lived in Atlanta, and she worked for Coca-Cola. I gave her a call. Oh, Barbara. Of course you're a Brownell. Oh, remember when we were little? We looked so much alike. Well, people even thought we were twins. Oh, and Barbara, you have the small Brownell breast, just like Grandma Cora and Aunt Adabel. I'm not going to do this test. It's not fair to Mama. You have the Brownell best. Okay, well, what should I go by? The small breast test or DNA? I decided to go with DNA. I spoke to my brother, Arnie Brownell Jr. You bet I'll do that test. That woman was a cheater and a liar, and I bet she tricked Dad. Well, my brother was on board, so we did the test. We sent it away, and 10 days later, I got the results. 50% related. We only share one parent in common. Arnie Brownell is not my father. My grandma Cora was right. I'm not Brownell, but who am I? Who is my dad? Could be Barry, Dave, or Larry. Who is my dad? There's one thing certain. My mother was sneaky and we all believed her. In the meantime, in between time, who is my dad? To be continued.
Wow, bravo, bravo. Great job, Barbara. Oh my goodness. Yeah, you packed in so much in that 7 minutes, and then you ended it with a song, and who knew that you had beautiful talents all around. Really great story. Thank you so much for sharing. So next we have Sharon Nyree Williams. And Sharon is a storyteller, an arts administrator, originally from Fayetteville, North Carolina. Sharon has been writing and developing her stories in Seattle, Washington for 16 years. She is the executive director for the Central District Forum for Arts and Ideas. Sharon is purposeful in sharing stories about her imperfections in hopes that she can change the world one story at a time. She's passionate about sharing her truth as it relates to family, religion, depression, being Black in America, to name a few of her storylines. She hopes her stories will act as a bridge in bringing communities closer together. Sharon has had the privilege to perform throughout the United States and in Rwanda. Dare to Claim the Sky is her third solo performance. She has a book of the same title and 3 poetry plus storytelling albums, Humanity, Consciousness of Love, and the newly released Shook. For more information about Sharon, you can go to her website, sharonwilliams.com, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, etc. So her show is called Moments. The Seattle-based graduate of a historically Black college utilizes her voice to affirm her love for African-American men and her concerns for their health and safety, as well as trans people in the light of recent headlining events. She takes a look at confrontations with the community and the law enforcement establishment. Sharon?
Lord, please let my light shine. Lord, please let my light shine. Because I can't find a creative way to say, I love being Black. Ancestors, please let my light shine. Ancestors, please let my light shine, because I can't find a creative way to say, I love being Black. Wait, what? I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Oh, yeah. You said I've been saying it and all I have to do is find it again? Let my light shine. Let my light shine. Find it again. Find it again. Seek and you shall find. Let my light shine. Let my light shine. 2007. Wake up! Negroes, colored men, Black men, African American men. Where is my man? Or shall I say men? Colored men, Negroes, Black men, African American men. Where are my men? Where are our men? 2008. I'm in love with Black men. I really, really love Black men. It doesn't matter if they're caramel, dark chocolate, or bronze. I'm in love with Black men. It doesn't matter if they're built like a football player, lean like a model, or chiseled like a nice piece of art. I love Black men. It doesn't matter if they're tall, short, or my height. I really love Black men. I'm not just talking about that magnetic, intimate sexual connection. I love all Black men. Men that I can have an intellectual discussion with. Because to me, intelligent conversation is like hot and steamy foreplay. A man that can make me laugh so hard I struggle to get a breath. I start to cry, and I may even snort once or twice. I love Black men. 2009. Dear God, I know it's been a long time since we last spoke. I must admit, Lord, I don't even know what to say. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. God, I need you. I don't know what to do or how to do it. God, Black men are packed in the jails, and they are preparing our young people to go there too. God, Black men, Black women, Black trans people, Black kids are getting killed by the police. God, please help me. God, forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespassed against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. From thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory. God, use me. God, I want peace, strength, power, and the financial means to live a fruitful life for all Black people, all over the world, forever and ever. 2013. Truth is, there are pieces of me missing. Truth is, I worry about my nephews. Truth is, I'm unsure about my nieces. Truth is, I will never know him. Truth is, there will always be a hole in my heart. Truth is, I love the lost loved ones. Truth is, I wonder why I can't remember all the stories. Truth is, I wish I had one more minute. Truth is, I pray. Truth is, I cry. Truth is, I laugh. Truth is, sometimes I just want to be left alone. Truth is, my future is unknown. Truth is, I'm scared of the future. Truth is, I love you. Truth is, I love me. Truth is love. Truth is, back to 2008. At what point in my life did someone say, you should know what this feels like? You need to feel this pain. You need to know what it feels like to be scared. You need to know what it feels like to live with the fact that there is no rhyme or reason for what happens to people. Your heart needs to be taken out of your body and stomped on. You need to cry so hard that you can't breathe. Why do I have to experience this shit? When is this going to stop? Stop doing this to me. Stop making me cry. Stop making me worry. Stop making me grieve. Please just stop. (2018 to 2020). I'm black. I'm black. I'm black. I'm black. I'm black. I'm black. And I'm black.
Great. Thank you, Sharon. So amazing. And Juliette, I am unmuting. There we go.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, powerful. I mean, everyone, what an incredible lineup we have tonight. I mean, just really powerful stories and very talented performers as well. Thank you, guys.
Yes, and I am going through and unmuting our performers so that we can engage in our Q&A, which Adilah will be moderating. So Adilah, I'm going to try and find everyone and unmute them for you so that you can ask the questions you want to ask.
Wow, what a hot off the press. This was really wonderful. Very moving. Okay, there's April in the children's room. There's Kevin on a sofa.
And then Lynn, I think I just is the last one, and we should all be unmuted after that.
Is everybody there?
They should be, yeah.
Okay. So how do you want to handle this in terms of comments? We have time for just a few because we still have our raffle and we're trying not to go too much over an hour and a half.
Right, so what we could do is virtual hand raises. So if you want to raise your hand, if you have a question for any of the performers, you just go to the bottom center of your Zoom screen. You'll see the word participants. You click on that. And then on the right-hand side, it allows you to say raise hand. So if you could raise your virtual hand, that'll be a lot easier than trying to sift through the chat. So go ahead and raise your virtual hand if you have a question for any of the performers about their process, about their shows. As we wait for the, Heather Dowling has a question. So let me unmute Heather. And Heather, why don't you start us off with your question?
Well, really, it's not so much a question, honestly. I just had to say that I am utterly stunned by the beautiful performances that we just saw and how completely and utterly fleshed out they were, how diverse and heartfelt they were, the fact that people use this weird era of technology that we're working in, and it still was absolutely captivating. I want to extend so much love and so much appreciation, and I'm so glad to see work I haven't seen before. Like Kevin, I haven't had a chance to see work like that. Sharon, I've never seen you before, and I am absolutely blown away. And Charlene, your singing voice, I mean, I already knew that Lynn and April were incredible because I've had so much time with them, as well as Barbara. But to get to be introduced to some new artists and to see, I want to say I am so happy, Adilah, that something virtual like this could speak so well of LAWTF and what your mission is, because I feel like all of that got captured in what you guys created today. So congratulations to your team and the producers and these artists. You guys are it's the best part of my week. You guys are amazing.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you, Heather.
Thank you.
All right, and then Cynthia Delgado, let me unmute you.
Oh, am I unmuted? Okay, wonderful. Yeah, no, I have a question for Michelle Jewsbury. How do you stay motivated? Do you see a lot of things that, you know, could be taken as negative? And I admire your work. How do you stay motivated? How do you keep your head in place?
So I still see my therapist because I think a therapist needs a therapist. It's very, very important to always continue speaking. So if I'm battling some things, I'm actually battling a lot of family issues at the moment. So I make sure that I have somebody on my team that I can reach out to constantly. But I get outside a lot. I go on a lot of hikes. When I go to Africa and come back, I typically give myself like a day. If you know me at all, I love my wine, so I'll like go have wine or happy hour someplace and sit and drink some and eat some. And but sometimes it's hard, you know, especially during this pandemic. It was kind of crazy. I got stuck in London and then came back and everybody's stuck at their house. So I just started doing Facebook Live, being honest with people, you know, hey, I'm having a hard time sometimes, and when you speak up, it's so much easier.
Got it.
Thank you, Sin.
Thanks, Sin. Good seeing you, by the way.
And Sheila, let me unmute you for your question, please.
So yes, thank you for absolutely everything. I have a question for the group in large. Maybe it's a little discussion. Like a lot of us, I've been in the theater world for a long time. I've found it to be pretty disheartening at times, egos, on and on. This experience with this community, I've met Jessica in January maybe, is so different than anything I've ever experienced. What is it? How? I'm just fascinated. Like, I'm getting to the question. Why is it so remarkably unique to this group of participants that there's such support and joy, encouragement? And how is that, you know, it's not a how question, but it's a thank you question. And how did you guys create this?
So I think
that's a big question for everyone. So can I just step in and kind of answer for everyone since we're running out of time?
Go for it.
And thank you, Sheila. I think that one way to view it is to see that we're not unique. This group is not unique. There are artists who are always sharing their stories, and yes, those who are with us tonight were unique with their stories, but I don't know that they're the only ones who have stories that are embracing and touching hearts. And so I know that you're speaking, perhaps not always is that the case in theater, but I have found that by and large, we have a community that's extremely supportive of each other. And for sure, that's true with the Los Angeles Women's Theater Festival. And, you know, the founders, there were 7 of us. We speak of how things start from the top and trickle down. And I think with the 7 of us who founded the Los Angeles Women's Theater Festival 27 years ago, we had a bond, and that bond remains. And we saw it in action today with the particular artists that we have. And we're proud of all of them.
Well said. Thank you, Adilah. We just have one last question, it looks like, from Manette. I'm sorry if I'm not saying your name right, but I can't really quite make out the screen name. So I've unmuted you.
So what I want to ask, I've actually found through various organizations that this challenge that we all have has brought people closer together. I've found many organizations where new connections going all over the world, even locally. I've connected in intimate ways that I never believed was possible. But what I want to ask Kevin, Charlene, Sharon, during this very, very difficult time, when I will just speak for myself, when I have thought that I was a liberal, a woke, progressive person, learning that I didn't do anything about it. I gave lip service to it, I talked about it, and now what we need is listen and learn, but we also need to act. But I feel almost presumptuous to say what needs to be done and what's best to do. Your all sharing is a very powerful way to move this agenda forward and make people understand, but we also need you to tell us what to do.
how we move this forward, how we share, because I don't have the power to share your experience, and I don't want to presume that I can. But so how are ways that we as white people who have shared such privilege and advantages, and in some ways engaged ourselves just by taking hold of those and not sharing them, have engaged in this process. So I hope that like this and others, that this will open up communication so we can try to make that experience really make a difference.
Thank you, Manette.
Thank you so much.
All right, so Kevin, Charlene, Sharon, who wants to take that?
Well, since nobody's taking it, I'll jump in.
Kevin was starting to
Go ahead,
talk.
Kevin.
Yeah. I actually can speak from the perspective of having immense amount of white privilege myself. And really at the end of the day, I know that I have like white guilt, okay, that I've had to battle with and deal with in myself, while also having the complicated relationship of knowing that I'm also Black and having experienced stuff like this. But you can't let the blockage of guilt stop you from learning and listening and giving space for people to talk. And that's really what it comes down to is put the guilt away. No one's asking you to be guilty. We just want you to listen to what's actually being said. And when the community says this is what we need, listen to them and ask, how can I help you to acquire what you need in order for your communities to thrive in this environment that we can't thrive in. So that would be my answer.
Great, thank you, Kevin.
I would like to say that we're all humans. Like we have different colors, but underneath, we're all, not to sound cheesy, but we are all one. And it's what to do is, what would you do if it was anyone else? What would you do if it was your sister, your father, your aunt, your whoever? Like, what would you do? How does that impact you if you see things happening to people who you perceive are different from you? What would you do if that happened to someone that you perceive as similar to you? And that's really all we're asking for, is equity.
Beautiful.
In a nutshell.
Thank you, Charlene.
For me, am I on? Yeah. I think in this particular time, I kind of like a wall goes up as soon as a non-Black person asks me what they can do, because I feel as though it's not my job to tell you how to treat a human like a human. And so if I were to give advice, my advice would be, and all the things that you're hearing and all the things that you may be studying or reading and all of that stuff, get your circle together and have conversation about it. No matter if it's your family, no matter if it's at work, no matter if you're in the grocery store and you see somebody treating somebody wrong, use your privilege to have the conversations. And like in my bio, I believe that if we hear each other's stories, and then we get to know each other better, so therefore bridging us together. And I think you can't tell my story the way I told it, but you can share what you heard in my story with the people around you.
Thank you, Sharon. All right. Adilah, and Juliette, shall we move into our close? Our raffle? Whatever final thoughts you all have?
I think Sharon was right on point.
Exactly.
Sharon, you said what many others are saying. I've heard a lot of African Americans say, it's not our job to teach. That's not our responsibility. We already have a heaviness that we are carrying the weight of. So that's not for us to do. But I do want to say, in addition to that, that I think one thing that can be done by non-Blacks is to call those in your world on it. When you hear them saying the N-word, when you see them behaving in a way that is not civil, when you see acts of racism call it out. That's one thing that can be done.
Beautiful. Thank you, Adilah. That says it all.
That says it all.
Yeah. All right, so we should move into the
raffle.
Yeah.
Yes.
The gamblers are ready.
Oh, Michelle's
Yeah.
got it ready.
Wait, there have been over 150 raffle tickets purchased.
Fantastic. Yay.
A lot of writing, I said, by the way, you guys.
So last chance. Is there anybody else before we close it out?
Oh, I don't
Are we
know.
there?
Yeah.
Okay, we're there.
Let's go for it.
Somebody just wrote dinner on LAWTF. We'll see what we can do about that.
So should we go through our list? How do we do this? From the our first gift, which was April.
Yes.
April Wade wishes. She's donating a ticket to her show on Tuesday night, value of $10. My Name is Mommy is the name of the show. So, all right, who won that?
All right, you guys, I'm mixing. CW, who is CW? Corey Wish. Isn't that?
That's her.
That's hilarious, actually.
So I think we should throw him back in and do it again. He's going to be running the team.
Why are we throwing Corey back in? Oh, that's her husband?
Her husband. He's
oh, yeah, throw him back in.
Okay, JZ, which is Jennifer Zarin.
Jennifer, great. Okay. How do I spell the last name?
Zarin.
Okay, great.
So Jessica, you're keeping our list for us, right? Okay, great. Thank you.
All right, and next up we have Sharon, our wonderful performer. Her iTunes gift card for her new album, Shook. Value is $10. Who won the album?
All right, let's see. Oh my gosh, CW again, Corey Wish.
Oh my.
All right. Well,
He's got good karma.
Corey Wish.
Apparently.
Great.
Good karma.
We have the 2 tickets to my Soaring Solo Salon, value of $20. So that's going to be a show featuring solo artists, most likely happening in August. So who won that?
DP, which is Deborah Pryor.
Oh, great. Deborah and a guest of her choice.
Yay.
Okay, then next we have Barbara Brownell's angel card reading, valued at $30. Who is the winner of that?
Ooh, I wish I could have participated.
JB, Jackie Bow.
Oh, great. Yes, Jackie Bow. Great. Congratulations, Jackie. All right. Next up, Michelle, is this one thing? It's the e-gift of the 5 steps to overcome obstacles plus the book. Is that all one? Okay, great. And the value for that is $49.
CMM. Who did I do CMM? Catherine McLennan.
Catherine McLennan. Great. All right, next up we have our tap dancing class with Lynn Jassem, valued at $70.
CMM again, so Catherine McLennan again.
Oh boy.
Wow, all right. I'm gonna mix this more, you guys. Come on, see, mix it.
The next one is with Michelle, our lovely producer, a complimentary consultation on overcoming obstacles, value $197.
Okay. GD, who's GD? GD is Gina Davis.
Gina Davis.
Gina Davis?
Yep, Gina Davis.
Okay.
Yeah, I see her on there. Great, great. Congratulations, Gina. Next up, we have Kevin Neighbors, our wonderful performer this evening. 2-minute video of whatever they would like, including editing, value of $200.
Drum roll. CD. Did I already say CD? Cynthia Delgado.
Woo! Sin Delgado. That's my girl.
Oh, Cynthia, you won again.
Congrats, Cynthia. Next, we have a consultation, a 1-hour writing and acting session with Adilah, our wonderful founder, value of $200.
Okay.
All right. Let's see here. Oh, really? CMM. Catherine McLennan again.
Wow.
Goodness gracious.
Wow.
Well, you have an hour with me. I'll look forward to that.
And our grand prize, the 1-week stay in Georgia at the Writers Retreat, value of $1,000. Shake it up good.
I'm shaking. Let's mix this thing up. Ready, you guys? JC is Julie Clark.
Yay, Julie.
Is there a Julie Clark?
JC. Yeah, Julie Clark, Clarke. Is she still on?
She might not be on anymore. Julie Clark.
She still wins it though.
She still wins.
Yeah.
That's great. Awesome. Well, Adilah, you want to close us out? Juliette, any final thoughts? Michelle?
I thought this was absolutely wonderful. For our very first virtual Hot Off the Press, I'm extremely pleased. Thank you, ladies, for all that you've done. Jessica, Juliette, Michelle, making it happen, all of our 5 performers, our 6 performers actually with Charlene. Thank you all so very much for sharing your voices.
And I do want to say something. This has been an amazing experience, but all of these proceeds are going directly to LA Women's Theater Festival, and we have raised over $600 just by ticket sales alone. Plus, we did the raffle, and like I said, there was 150 raffle tickets that were purchased. So there has been a lot of money raised because of Hot Off the Press for LA Women's Theater Festival. So I'm so grateful to be a part of this. Thanks, you guys.
We appreciate it. Thank you.
Great.
Thanks, everyone.
All right, everyone, have a great night.
Bye.
I love your background, Juliette.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Wow.
All right. Good night, guys.
Have a good evening. Be safe and be well, everyone.
You too.